Welcome to the Post Show, broadcasting live from Zenna TV in Los Angeles. This is where we elevate the creative cult. This is where creatives can be seen. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for always watching us. I'm Poe. So on Friday, February 10th from 8 to 9:30 p.m., Acrobatic Storytelling presents Intercourse at Kinship Galleries, 5612 North Figueroa Street, Los Angeles. To Burge partner acrobatic performance with storytelling to entertain, inspire, and thrill. Intercourse is another word for communication. Acrobatic storytelling delves into the intercourse between two or more human bodies. Communication is not only done through words, but also through touch, with the physical connection between two forms going oh so right or terribly wrong. The stories the performers will share will move you and cause you to marvel at the intricacies and rewards of communication. Be in awe of how much we can support one another. Their first show was in San Francisco last year, which sold out twice. And seating for the LA event is even more limited, so get your tickets at eventbrite.com. Check that out. Sounds interesting. Also, on the same day, Friday, February 10th, from 7:30 to 9 p.m., Orange County Ghosts and Legends presents Ghosts and Legends of San Juan Capistrano at the main stage of the infamous Camino Real Playhouse, 31776 El Camino Real, San Juan Capistrano, California. A limited engagement special presentation. Get the exclusive scoop and behind-the-scenes look at the strange phenomena that takes place in this very haunted, historic city. San Juan is the bomb, by the way. If nobody's gone there, you gotta go there. That's kind of in my neighborhood. The team will unveil some of their most compelling audio and video evidence from their investigations, demonstrate various pieces of investigation equipment, and conduct a live Q&A with the audience. Purchase raffle tickets for the opportunity to investigate the Haunted Playhouse later that night with the OCGL crew. The Haunted Playhouse will not be around very much longer. I don't know the facts about that, but that's a bummer. Don't miss this opportunity to see it and or experience it for yourself before its legend is left only for history books. Tickets available at ocghostsandlegends.com. Okay, so last Friday, it was last Friday, right? Yeah. I went to the album release party at the Whiskey A Go-Go, of course, my home away from home, to see Mr. Jack Russell's Great White, and they were fantastic. Jack is back, totally back. So it was the release of course, his new album, He Saw It Coming. I have the footage from that. I think it's called, they said something from the road. Anyway, Poe's in it. You'll see it. So check this out. You can see what you missed. Be back in a sec.
Jack is back on the attack, baby!
So, we're psyched, man. We're psyched. We're psyched. Brand new record. It's out. Today's our official CD release party day.
We won't be playing that song.
We won't be playing what he's singing over there, but we might eventually. So, go check out the CD. He's short coming. Fuck yeah!
Fuck yeah!
Fuck yeah! Fuck yeah!
I'm just folding my shirt. Loved it.
Motherfucking rock and roll.
Once they start doing, because when I went out to the front, look out for shit talkers. It won't be me. It'll be somebody else. Look out for it. Hey man. No worries. What's up?
Drum solo.
Dude, it's gonna be off the hook.
Sure.
Maybe. We'll see.
Shit talkers, talking shit talkers. Shit talkers.
Are you excited?
I'm excited!
I'm excited.
You excited? I'm excited!
Yeah.
Are you excited?
Hell yeah.
Are you excited?
I'm excited.
Are you fired up?
I'm fucking fired up!
Are you fired up?
Fired up. Fired up.
I go back with Jack 100 years ago. I'm fired up. God bless him.
How you doing?
I'm fantastic.
Are you fired up?
I'm fired up.
You guys ready to rock and roll? Ready to rock and roll? Ready to rock and roll? Ready with some rock and roll? You ready for some rock and roll?
Hey man, I'm ready for some fucking rock and roll.
Turn me up, motherfucker. Make sure that
Okay, so if you haven't yet gotten that album, He Saw It Coming by Jack Russell's Great White, do it. It's fantastic. It's absolutely amazing. And like I said, the performance was incredible. You can find some of that stuff on my social media. Robbie Lochner, oh my God, he did this guitar solo that was insane. I think it's gonna, hit the big levels at any moment now. Okay, so you guys ready? Today we're taking it to the streets again. Once again, co-hosting with me, back from one of the urban art capitals of the world, East London, the owner of Hidden Streets of London and graphic art, street art, urban art promoter extraordinaire, Daniel Wood.
What's up, Poe? Good to be back.
Along with a pop artist painting deconstructed cartoon characters and fractured pop icons of childhood, Matt Gondek.
Hi.
We never heard claps before.
Thanks.
And a unique portrait artist painting the true and primal emotions behind societal masks, Joseph Lee.
I've never clapped any time before.
Okay, Danny, so when did you get here? When did you get here from London?
I got back on Friday evening, Friday at 5 p.m. Slept straight away for 12 hours. And I've been waking up at 5 a.m. every morning because of jet lag. But yeah,
Oh, you still have jet lag for
it's good
sure,
to be
don't
back.
you?
Yeah, I was straight, I think I brought the London weather with me today.
Okay, talk in that mic, though. I'm going to have to slap you up.
And it was good to get back in some sun because the weather is so crap in London. But yeah,
Well-
it's good to be back and doing what I love. So checked out all the galleries on Saturday and just getting back in the swing of things after 2 months of not doing much and traveling and seeing friends and fam.
So you had to go back to get back.
Yeah, I had to go to Australia and then I was in London doing some.
I didn't know if Trump would let you back or
Yeah,
not.
that's what everyone back
No, I
then
was
said.
like,
yeah, I thought
okay,
that
I'm
too.
just going to wing this. I'm going to hope that he can get back in.
Yeah. No, it was all good. I normally get given hassle at
Well, because you're
customs every
super
time.
white.
I need to get my tan
Was
back.
that wrong to say?
I need to get my tan back.
You need to get your what? Your tongue
Tan
back?
back, tan after being back in
Oh,
London and the
tan.
rain
I
and
thought you
stuff.
said
And
tongue.
yeah, so all good. So good to be back on, and we've got a good year planned of the roster. I'm looking forward to it.
Gross.
Yeah.
Okay, tell us about these guys.
So we've got Matt, who I became acquainted with during my last trip a few months back. So I've been following his work closely. And then Joey I became acquainted with just recently. So I looked into his work, and chuffed to have them both onto the show, but I'll let them both tell you a little bit more about what's going on.
These guys are ridiculous.
Yep.
They are
Yep.
in a really good way.
Yep.
Turn your mic a little bit towards you. Yeah. Okay.
Gotcha. But they're both doing a lot in the game right now, so yeah. It's
Okay,
good
you
to
know
have
what?
them
I
on.
think this is probably. Let's just go into. Can we just start going into Matt's images, because then we can talk while showing him. There you go. Okay, and this is just their street art. These images that I have right now. So you can talk, Matt, about where these are.
Yeah. So actually, this first one that we're looking at, that's not all me. I just did the SpongeBob.
No, of
middle.
course.
Yep.
That's in Worcester, Massachusetts.
Well, collabs are great.
Yeah, that was for Powwow, Massachusetts. That was like maybe September of last year with Ghost Beard and Patch Whiskey. The one that says Ghost Beard on it, he obviously painted that one. But Patch is over there on the left. And that was dope because like the second day we were there, that's like a motorcycle garage. And the guy that owned it, he was like, yeah, I've been gone for like the last 4 or 5 months. I was on tour with my band. And I'm like,
love
oh,
that guy.
cool, whatever. And it turned out this band, 4 Years Strong, which like I really, really like. And I didn't even know that, that was him. So that was pretty cool. I got to like talk to him about all that stuff. These are all photos of just Massachusetts, though.
Can we just going completely off piste here, just for the
No,
banter?
it's
That's how we had the Secret Walls Worcester and Secret Walls London ones on. Now you're Worcester, Massachusetts. You're talking about, yeah?
Yeah.
And I'm from Worcester, UK originally, and you just hit the nail on the head now. Just say Worcester again.
Worcester.
No, you were saying
Worcester.
Say it.
Worcester.
Poe?
Yeah.
Worcester.
Worcester. Anyway.
They call
Yeah.
it.
Well, we
moving
call it
on.
like that.
It's
Worcester.
good. Yeah.
Worcester sauce.
That's the one.
Anyways.
Sorry.
So this is Maneki Neko. That's at a skate shop here in LA. That's just all brush paint. That's indoors. That's the same painting again. And there I am. And then, so there's this really
There's
nice,
Job.
There's this nice guy.
Speak of the
everyone likes
devil.
a lot. Dude, this was only up for like a week.
Oh, really? It got painted over?
Yeah, it was only it was not there very long. But me and my boy Frankie painted that like in the course of a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, Trump. What a great guy. Oh, dope. So this is the very first mural I painted when I moved to California.
That's in Upland?
Yeah, it's in Upland, right? And so right behind like the photo there is like a 6-foot ditch because the guy was like fixing his yard, and I fell down it at one point. Like I got pretty fucked up, pretty bad. It was fun.
It was fun.
So this was in Vegas. It was July and it was 115 degrees. Jeez. And I've never been to Vegas like just
Vegas is
outside,
hot.
right? And the guy that owned the building was like, I know that you're ready to paint, but like you can't go paint right now. I'm like, I'll be fine. I'll just drink a bunch of water. One of the cans literally popped in my hand.
Yeah.
And then I was on the scaffolding, and my feet were burning through my shoes. I was maybe outside for like 8 minutes, and like I did have to like just stop and like wait till dark to do that.
Okay, that's a van.
No, that's actually not a van. Just kidding. That's in Atlanta. That was for a thing called the Outer Space Project, which is put on by this artist named Greg Mike and his gallery studio.
This is such a great photo because it actually, I think it gives the viewer more of an idea of what this takes. Like, look at you. And look at that ginormous friggin' wall, right?
It's funny. I actually don't like how I look in real life, but I like to put myself in the photos only because it shows like the scale of things, right?
Yeah.
Like
just don't like the way you look in
all right,
real
let's
life.
move on. It doesn't matter. Simply for the fact that I'm in that photo, you can be like, oh, damn, that's a huge wall, right? Where if I wasn't in that photo, or like no one was in that photo, it just looks like a wall.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Like, for example, this bar here, it's really tiny. That's in Hong Kong at a restaurant called Kokot. That's the back of Kokot in Hong Kong.
Mm-hmm.
That's the guy that owns the place. He gave me a bunch of nice food. That's actually really nice because the same building, like, so Shepherd Ferry and Invader on the same building, and why the hell am I on a building with those guys? It's pretty dope. I was pretty excited about that.
Yeah.
That's in Hong Kong. So that was actually the flat I was staying at up on the roof. And the gallery had a guy come over with a drone, this dude, Arlene.
Oh, that's so great.
And that photo's great, right? I mean, the mural's not even done, but it just shows like the scope of like the city and everything. And there's a video he has where it just keeps going up and up and up and up. And Hong Kong's crazy.
Did that kill your back?
Hong Kong's crazy.
It killed my knees. So I was on my hands and knees the whole time.
Painting on roofs is becoming a little bit more common now, hey? Or it's starting to pick up. And
that's Findak. Findak does it a lot.
Exactly.
Oh, it's just crazy.
This mural is in. Sorry to interrupt you.
Good man.
My full car ran over while I did this one, and I wrecked my car during this mural. That's in Compton
Oh, great.
at the Del Amo swap meet.
There's another one that's Compton. The same. Yeah. There we go.
Yeah,
That's
same-
with you
same
guys.
mural. That's my boy Justo who helped me paint that one. That is somewhere. I don't know the name of the town.
That's in Downey.
Downey. Yeah.
Everybody
yeah.
would forget Downey.
Downtown LA on the roof. That's like one of my most well-known murals.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That was really hot there too. That's at Graph Aids in Culver City.
Culver
Am I just
City.
naming things? What am I doing right now? That's in Graph Aids at Culver City. It's an art store where I get all my shit. What's next? That's Photoshop. That's not real.
Seriously?
It was on the TV. Yeah, I just took a photo
Oh,
of a TV
I'm
I found on
sorry.
the street. This is at Start
Start.
LA, like near K-Town. That's where like Secret Wall's head base is and Monterex. But they had just moved in the summer, and just by chance I went over there for a party or something and met the owner Terry, and he was saying I was going to fill up the whole yard with murals, and I was like one of the first dudes to do
That's
it.
an awesome wall. I love that.
Yeah.
Of course,
Yeah,
that's what we have.
Yeah,
on
I
our
came
green
I came by
screen,
on the bus on the way here, and it's really starting
Still
to pick up
there.
around there. Yeah,
Yeah.
and there's a good few. He's taken over the streets. He's got a lot of walls going on
This
down
is
there.
glass
so-
blowing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's some glass blowing studio. It was some dude I met when I first moved here, and that's all brush paint inside his garage that he worked out.
So
of.
you're from Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I'm originally from Pittsburgh. I moved here like that home.
That's
there.
old, right? That's a few
That's my
years ago.
very first wall ever,
Yep.
and that was all brush paint. But yeah, I'm from Pittsburgh originally, and I did I painted there, but I could only do so much there because there wasn't really an audience to buy anything. And it wasn't until I moved out to LA
You know what?
I guess
But
I
that's
really picked
totally
up.
enough. That's great. It's the simplicity of it that's so cool.
Oh, it's
with that.
dope. Yeah, it really
Oh,
opened
it's-
some doors and
oh
stuff.
my
I
God,
got
it's
some cool
bitchin'.
jobs out of that, and people took
The bike
notice.
helps, though.
That's my own bike. That's my very own bike there.
What was like
So
one of
you're
the
part of the
drivers for moving over here to Los Angeles? Because a lot of people come from other cities to here, and the same they do as London because it's more of a hub. So what was the
well,
lifestyle?
Well, I'm married to begin with, and I can kind of my job is I paint, so I can kind of live anywhere. But my wife, she has a 9 to 5. She's actually an engineer, and we just wanted to move outside of Pittsburgh. And we kind of got really lucky and just happened to move to LA.
You happened to get lucky and moved to LA.
I mean, for my career, it really.
No,
helped
for
to-
your
to
career,
live
it's
here,
amazing.
So
Yeah, for
I'm
sure.
really glad we moved here because it
Yeah.
opened up a lot of doors. We could have
Oh,
ended
no,
up
for
in
sure.
Wisconsin or something.
Yeah.
Who the fuck knows where
And
I'd
then
be
you would be
from
making
there.
cheese or something like that.
I'd be killing the cheese game.
Cheese game.
Deconstructive cheese artist,
Chuck E. Cheese.
I don't know.
There's
Chuck E. Cheese employee.
there's select few cities that you can make
Yeah,
a living in urban
If you
contemporary
work
arts.
hard and a couple people have said, and I'm not talking about myself, I'm talking about any East Coast artist that moves here. East Coasters have this more of a drive, and so when we come over here, we're still very angry at everything. Come on, let's fucking work, go faster, And out here, it's really a big edge, I think, to be that way and live out here. and
No, for sure. I
constantly
agree.
work.
Yeah, I agree for sure. Okay, let's go to the next guy. Let's go to Joseph. I don't know why I call you Joseph. I think that's just because. Okay,
That's what I go by.
Joseph. You go by Joseph?
Yeah, my friends call me Joe, but
Oh.
same thing.
I'm your friend, Joe.
Yeah, there you go.
How about Joey?
Joey works.
See, Joey works. Joey, Joe, Joseph. Okay, we have some. Okay, this is completely different, but I mean, these guys are so different in their style, but both so incredibly bitchin'. Okay.
I
so
just
here's-
didn't watch enough cartoons growing up.
That's all I did.
Okay, so this is where is this? This is Happy Mama Day.
Yeah, this is at the garage at Blick. I pick up a lot of my supplies there.
Yeah.
Over
Any
on
artists
Beverly.
know what Blick is,
Yeah.
right?
Yes. It's their garage where it's just invaded by a bunch of artists
Yeah.
that just throw up stuff, and I was fortunate enough to get a wall.
And this is not just a wall. This is like a stairwell that you just did amazing things with.
Yeah.
It's just so beautiful.
This was like Madman,
Let's
right? Is that-
talk about
was this-
welcoming.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Madam,
'cause it-
yeah, he has a piece right next
So
to
he used
it.
to work there, didn't he?
Yeah, good dude. Yeah, and that was a piece that I did in the same garage prior to that. And yeah, I mean, just the space. I like the intimate spaces. I feel like I work better with vertical pieces just because I like doing portraits, and so it was like a perfect piece to kind of test my stuff out on.
And that's actually what's on our green screen now.
That was actually my first. I mean, I don't know if you consider that a mural. Is that a mural?
Yeah.
Well, it's a mural.
Counts,
It's on a wall and it's big. That's
I
why.
guess. Yeah. I mean, I don't really
Mural.
consider myself like a street artist or like a muralist, but yeah, it was.
Well, that's why I'm showing these because this is your street art first.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
yeah,
definitely
yeah.
like hands down contemporary, amazing, like artist. But okay, and this was this is.
That's over by the
is it-
BuzzFeed Studios. in
Oh yeah,
Hollywood.
BuzzFeed. That's right.
Yeah. So they wanted to do like this time lapse piece over the course of like 3 days, and so I was able to just shoot this up.
And you had that little 10-second video, which I didn't put on here, but it's pretty intriguing.
Thank you. Yeah, this was for a music video for
That's
a
Koreatown.
Korean rapper friend of mine, Dumbfounded, and this was part of his single called Murals. His album just dropped, by the way, and yeah, this is a fun little piece that I did for him. This is a little piece that I did for a good friend of mine, Michelito, who is a artist based in Mar Vista, and this was kind of like a little neighborhood piece, kind of a little ode to the neighborhood that I could do. And this was like another neighborhood piece.
This is pretty heavy. Yeah, we can yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, this is it's a piece. It's Tozan. He was pretty much like the founder for the Korean American community.
Yeah.
One of the first wave of Korean immigrants to arrive here in the country, and this was just kind of I don't know. It was something that was completely I had no idea about. You know, I think Korean history like was dedicated to maybe like a page in our history books growing up. So it was just something that was completely, you know, I was oblivious to, and I kind of picked it up. I had the fortune of meeting his grandson.
Yeah,
and,
Flip.
Flip. Yeah, and so he just, you know, he invited us to dinner, really kind of exposed us to the history of his family, and I just wanted to throw something up.
So it was in honor of his name in the Korean community and
Yes.
your heritage.
Yeah, I mean, that photo is...
It's kind of a big deal.
Yeah. It was
That's a
referenced
great
off of
photo.
one of the last photos ever taken of him
Exactly.
while he was locked up in prison in China just months prior to his death. And so just looking at the photo, it kind of struck a chord with me. So I
Because that's what you kind of are driven by is expression and human emotion, basically.
Sure, yeah.
And that's where your portraits come from, the facial expressions, face.
Yes.
Yeah, that's something I wanted to drill down with you, Joe. Like
Drill it down, Danny, drill it down.
The subjects in your portraits. So it's kind of like obviously portraits have been around since the day dot, and it's not uncommon that people paint prominent figures. So I think I saw Einstein was on one of yours, but you also do kind of figures such as Putin, who are controversial. And what I noticed when I was looking at your work on the Saatchi site. You also do, which I've never seen, you've got things like Kobe Bryant, more specifically Wayne Rooney. What's the kind of logic for selecting sports characters, especially ones from England? There was Suarez on there, etc. And I've never really seen that before in anyone's portraiture.
I mean, to be honest, there really is no logic to it. I actually follow more photographers than painters, and so I'm always looking through photos. And it's pretty much just instinctual, whatever hits the mind.
Okay.
That's about the emotion, the emotion that's shown on the, on the face.
I just had a conversation with a good friend of mine, and we were talking, and I guess the end goal to all of this, I mean, long after I'm dead and gone, is to kind of have a collection of like a time capsule where like my, great grandkids can kind of look back upon, and they get kind of a hint to what it was like in my lifetime, what was relevant. What I was seeing. And so
that documentation is highly important, and street art especially, because sometimes it's just gone the next day. So it's like, I actually have a video later on of Birdman,
Shouts to Birdman.
A shout to Birdman, because that's what he does. He documents street art.
I was with him on Saturday night, and he was getting pissed at me because, in the nicest way,
well,
because he takes a photo
kidding.
with his super good, expensive 5,000 camera, and I'm like, take with my phone.
I know, I do that too. Okay, we should take a break, right? Let's take a break. Okay, we'll be right back. Don't go away.
So when we come...
Welcome back. Okay, so we're gonna delve deeper into Mr. Matt. So let's pass it on to Danny. Tell us about Matt. Where's his inspiration come from?
Well, we saw his first.
I'm sorry.
we saw his first street piece there of the Homer Simpson,
Yeah.
and the kind of deconstruction of it, as I believe you call it, mate. And so what I wanted to get down into is where does your kind of subject matter of, I suppose, characters, so Simpsons, Disney, etc. Where does that come from? And at what point did you start to deconstruct them in the way they look now? That you the kind of thing you've become known for. That's how I know your work from the street.
Yeah, I actually never really knew until recently why I do what I do, and I kind of figured it out. I'll get to that in a second. Like my background, like for years I just did like freelance illustration for like everything, like clothing and sports and all kinds of shit. And I just kind of started painting on
Bands,
a whim.
extreme sports, wrestlers, even the NBA.
Yeah, shit.
Sorry.
And I just didn't
I'm
want
a
to do it anymore.
stalker.
Like I just worked on a computer all day, and I would just sit in my room, and I didn't talk to anybody. I kind of just started painting on a whim because I was just depressed.
Yeah.
And I picked when I first started painting, I didn't know how to paint at all. So I just picked things that I knew. And my childhood was like comic books and cartoons, so I picked something I knew. And I didn't realize why I did like blew everything up until recently. And I realized like in my day-to-day life, I kind of like taking the piss out of everything and everybody. Where if someone says or does something, I kind of in my mind like, fuck off, like. And I think it's like.
So you want to tear it all apart?
I do,
no matter
yeah.
what
Like
anybody does or says?
what is pop art? Pop art is art. It's in the pop culture. It is Mickey Mouse, right?
Yeah.
I kind of like want to be like, no, we're done with all this stuff. Like I want to destroy it. I want to blow everything up. I don't know. It's a very simple explanation, but like that's why I do it.
But it's a signature style that is kind of.
Yeah, I did get known for blowing things up, and that's awesome. I kind of just like taking things that people like and killing it.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen on your media that you're.
God, that's so great.
I've seen on your media that you're kind of crushing a lot of commissions at the moment, and I think the subject matter of characters that people know they can relate to the pieces straight away.
That's actually
No,
you're
for
absolutely
sure.
right, dude.
They're
And
recognizable.
That's
It's
what
pop
it is.
culture.
Like the nice thing about what I do, and it's nice for me, is that not only you don't have to be an art lover to like what I do.
Yeah.
Like, and a great deal of my buyers are just people that liked. Oh, I really grew up. I really liked Elmer Fudd or whatever.
Exactly.
So that's why they gravitate towards my work.
Yep.
I do have the art buyers now that appreciate what I'm doing and the quality, but especially when I first started, like I said, I didn't know how to paint a couple years ago, but I was selling because people were just like, oh, I really like the Simpsons,
exactly,
and
exactly.
that really helped me get a leg up when I first started out.
Yes.
Okay, let's go to the video so people can see more of what he does as an art form, not just street art, but as an entire art form. Check it out.
years of my life just flashed before my eyes.
Right? That's what people say, actually. Okay, and you also make merch out of this stuff, which is great. Well, and most of this, I'm sure, is not available anymore. But can we go to those merch shots? You can talk about them. I'm sure they're sold out and gone.
When I first started out, because my background was like in a lot of like apparel design.
There's Bort Simpson.
Yeah, a bootleg Bort shirt. When I first started out, I made a ton of t-shirts and like everything because that's all I knew how to do. Like I didn't know how to sell a painting, but I knew how to sell a t-shirt. So when my career first started picking up, like for example, that shirt right there, that was a collab from this store called Hutch out here in LA. Like I did a whole line with them and I sold a ton of shirts. I actually had a clothing line at one point. I actually owned a store at one point where I sold clothing, right? But as I'm trying to develop what I'm doing more and more, I'm trying to get out of the merch aspect, trying to distance myself from the kind of guy that
But you
puts
made
out 1,000
socks.
things. Those are old. Cut me some slack. I'm still learning.
I want
what I'm
those.
Doing. You can
I
have
want
them.
all of this.
There's some skate decks with some old Jordans. That was for an art show I did at this store called Hot Rod here in LA.
Deconstructed Jordans.
Yeah, I'm allowed to call it the wrong thing. I made it. That's the first zine I ever made, Kill 'Em All, which was my very first art show. It was all just like my sketches for the show. It was a little book I put together. So I've made like a ton of stuff, but like I said, I'm getting out of that phase of my life to just really kind of focus on fine art and try to
Okay,
push
so
it more.
this is your stuff on wood.
Yeah, that's a print. That's actually a really
Sublimation.
well-known company called Prints on Wood. That was a special release I did when I was in Atlanta for the Outer Space Project, which is like a mural festival where they had artists come in from over the world to do murals. We showed that piece a little bit earlier. That's the photo I said I didn't like how I looked in it, but that was the wall piece I did. So Prints on Wood released like a limited edition print. I think there was 35 of those, and that was me at the studio signing them.
And you just did another one with them at DesignerCon, right? That's
At DesignerCon, I did. I
Okay,
did
but you
one.
do want to do another book. This is awesome. This is a 3D.
Well, that's fun though. That's a 3D book. Those are dope.
Okay, we'll do
I don't
what's
know
fun,
who else,
for
I don't
sure.
know who else makes 3D books. That's like
That's
the blue
awesome.
and red glasses, and I had to like spend
another photo of
forever
that.
figuring out how to
Yeah.
make that stuff. Like,
That's so cool.
yeah, that was
So
fun
cool,
to do, and
right?
that was pretty cool. I do
And that
wanna
was
make
was
another
that
one of those.
2014?
I believe so. It
Yeah.
was like very early 2014. That was actually the last book I put out. That was another art show I did called Struggles, and it was all the drawings from that show. But I just
So cool.
learned how to make 3D drawings.
Okay, let's go on break so that we kind of get back on schedule. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
that book's dope.
Thanks.
Is high art dead? Do we need it in today's society, or is it lost in a world of instant gratification?
It has nothing to do with the status, because if we talk about status, that I mean Kim Kardashian's underwear. So it's
Let's
not
talk
about
that.
that people stuck in their devices. They're actually more separate in their real lives. It's really not social, and the art can fulfill that. Real communities where people live and die are real. They're filled with blood and flesh, and not with digits and numbers.
I was teaching very complicated compositions and how you work a lot of figures together. And this class got canceled. They didn't want to do figurative art.
Why away from figurative?
They're lazy.
For a few days, I went through the 5 stages of grief. Kim Kardashian in her red vinyl outfit, sitting on one shoulder with a spear. I came up with a class making art in the internet age.
How are they graded?
They are graded by the number of likes that they get on Instagram.
Both of the conversations in reference to high art are the reasons high art isn't really relevant anymore.
Culture decides what high art is. Mob rule, in a way.
You should just go through the trash bin of Kardashian clan.
I
get
cannot-
all of their underwear.
I
and
cannot
that's
argue with
it.
you on that point.
Trunk on that elephant is way hanging.
Hey, welcome back to the Hollywood Post Show. So on Sunday, February 19th, 8 to 11 p.m., Marvin, at Molly Malone's Irish Pub, 575 South Fairfax Avenue in Los Angeles. Marvin is a progressive jazz rock band based in Chicago with a unique story, now listen up, that stands out in today's music world because they have a do-it-yourself approach. Marvin started touring extensively in 2011, bringing their original instrumental music to every part of the United States. Through word of mouth, they've gained tens of thousands of devoted fans all over the world and have sold tens of thousands of albums. So go figure. You work at your craft and you get paid for it. How awesome is that? Okay, they have released 6 albums and regularly play at clubs all over the U.S. and in jam and jazz festivals around the world. For Marvin's full schedule, visit bandsintown.com/Marvin. And yeah, they are coming. So when is that? It's February 19th. I wanted to get them on the show, but it's not going to happen. So check out where they're playing next. On Friday, March 10th at 8:30 p.m. and Saturday, March 11th at 10:30 p.m., Ordinary Objects at Highways Performance Space, 1651 18th Street, Santa Monica, California. Strings and Things Puppet Theater explores the ambiguities between objects and puppetry with an absurd performance using the anthropomorphic nature of ordinary objects. I like that word, anthropomorphic. Depicting ideas expressed by the surrealist Rene Magritte. Their experiment draws on humorous and body comic cliches and dislocated repetitions, with an underlying message of metaphysical distress while paying tribute to filmmakers, surrealists, and existentialists who extrapolate meaning from the world of objects. So check that stuff out. That looks really cool, really awesome. Most of it local stuff. Okay, so now let's talk more, Danny, about Joseph Lee.
Yeah.
And what he does and what he's all about.
Yeah, so we touched before about the subjects in your pieces. So have you seen them online? Where in the press? So your next painting? How are you going to decide who you paint? Where's that from?
It comes from inspiration, right?
Sure.
But what is that? What have you seen?
Fault, I guess, but yeah. It's not really focused on the subject matter, but I've been kind of working with different materials. So at the moment, I'm working with a lot of bleach fabric.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. That kind of organically just came around just the environment that my studio's at.
Yeah.
Like I happen to be in this kind of fabric. They call it chaba.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much it's just owned by just a bunch of store clerks and all these. It's an immigrant-friendly kind of neighborhood, and it's kind of like the last remnants of Old Town LA.
Yeah.
And
Where is that?
Well, I'm on 15th in Los Angeles.
Okay.
It's kind of closer towards the 10.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, like just by coincidence, it's kind of like the type of work that my parents first did when they first immigrated to the States. And so I don't know, this whole thing kind of came full circle where now I'm kind of applying things that it's kind of almost in my DNA.
Very
within
cool.
my family lineage.
So using the mixed media that's there for you, that's there in front of you. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
and just embroidery and just fabrics and just kind of learning like the timing between the fabrics and how color tones come out differently.
How does that work in time-wise in terms of a piece if you're just brush painting the canvas compared to using fabrics and mixed media?
Yeah, I mean it's tough. In the case of any oil, drying is always.
It's apples and oranges, I would think, right? Mm-hmm. Mixed media or just painting, because you're painting too, but it's just a whole different.
Sure. I mean, specifically the way I work, I like to use the base as oil or acrylic, but in the times it's oil, it takes weeks for that to dry. But it's just I don't know. I feel like I'm a kid in a candy store. I haven't been doing this for that long. And so everything is just trial and error. And I'm just
Okay,
playing around
well,
with
at
everything,
that,
so.
let's see what he's doing, and you guys are going to trip out on this. Not that. We're going to the video.
I got a video?
You have a
I didn't even
video.
know.
Now you do.
Top stuff here, mate.
Wow, thank you for
So,
that. That was really neat.
right? Is that incredible?
That was
So
awesome.
that's something that you, like I was telling these guys during that, you can't describe that. Can you describe that?
Yeah, it's-
like what you just saw. It's so emotional and so impactful, and it's not just the face or the person you're painting. It's the pieces put together to make that. There's so much emotion just in your execution of that. The creative aspect of it is
Yeah.
what you also see in those pieces.
You need the visuals in some instances because, I mean, if I was to describe your work, the way you
Yeah,
describe it might be
exactly.
completely different. That's the wonder of art. It's subjective. And, and you didn't, like you say, when you start out, you're not really sure what your direction is. You're just putting stuff together.
I don't
based
think any
on
artist really knows their direction if they're coming from the right place.
No, I,
It
I,
just-
get, I get asked about things where, do you paint other things? Do you paint trees? And no, this is what I like to
You
paint.
like to do it to people,
Yeah,
yeah.
and I don't know. I think you're from Pittsburgh and I'm from Indiana, and so growing up in Indiana, it's like L.A. wasn't like a real thing to me. It was like a. It was
It's
something you
still
watch
not
in
a real
movies.
thing to anybody.
Yeah, it's like fantasy land, and so it's like when you move out here, you're just kind of placed in this like societal cesspool of like various characters and personalities.
Yeah.
And so I just spent like my first year just observing people.
Okay,
That's
but
all I did.
you have an acting background.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw
Tell us
that.
about
That's
that. What's
interesting.
up about that?
Yeah, I saw this
Yeah.
on when I was looking at
Yeah, well, I got a movie coming out. We just shot in November. It's
Do you see?
Can I
Did you
pull-
see the
pull
kind
it
of
right now?
stuff
Can I-
Poe
yeah.
pulls out?
Where's
So
this?
that's
Where's this?
interesting. So that,
it's a cool indie film. It's this upcoming director, really good guy, Anish Chaganti. It's with Deborah Messing, John Cho. It should be really good.
Jack of all trades, mate.
What's it called?
Search.
No shit, that's awesome.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
Very cool.
yeah, see? So it's the human condition is really what you're into. That's why
Yeah.
you recognize and are turned on by people's emotions and faces. It has to do with your acting, background and DNA and how that moves you too.
Sure. Yeah, my background's in theater. That's what I studied back at school. And so, you just spend all your time just observing human behavior. So I think that was the natural progression to kind of translate into portraits.
So when you're saying that like, so for example, the tree thing, I don't paint trees. So how do you deal with commissions? So for example, the Nike one you did, how far are you going to branch out to doing what they want to keep in your kind of concept stroke aesthetic?
Yeah,
What was it that their slogan? Just fucking do it.
Oh yeah.
Or was that just yours?
No, I mean that was me. I mean nothing against Nike.
I love
I
that.
felt like doing it. Yeah.
And that was just a.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah,
so
I think that
much.
was more kind of like a fuck you to like group mentality kind of thing.
Ooh.
And, you know, not
I like
get
it.
So Nike hit you up directly for that? Or?
No, not against
no.
Nike directly.
I convoluted that whole discussion. I'm sorry. Okay, back to
No.
Nike.
No, I mean, it's just this whole kind of idea. I think with like social media, I think everything is kind of intertwined.
Yes.
And so it kind of takes the individuality out
Yeah.
of people, especially in like the generation that's coming up now. And so it's this idea of like, not everything has to be cool. You don't have to like whatever everyone else likes.
No,
So-
but that's the cool thing about like what you're doing and what Matt's doing. It's not that you're mixing it up. So if you like it, you like it. If you're not, you're kind of going against the grain, and that's
I mean, not
that's
even intentionally, but yeah, I guess we're just like
that's the beauty of it. What you said
angry
is the
men,
beauty
so-
of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be individual, and that's the beauty of it. What you just
Sure.
said. We're not doing it for that reason.
Yeah.
That's what makes you cool.
Thank you.
That's what makes art and artists and creativity cool.
We're all cool.
Doing what you do.
It's a cool world.
It has nothing to do with anybody else. It's what you do. And totally nailed it
If I
right
can
there.
just butt in real quick.
Of course you can.
I heard this phrase actually like last week. I'm probably butchering it, but the phrase is something like "magic looks like magic to those who don't put in hard work." Right.
Nice.
So I'm sure Joe can attest to this. You know, Joe had a solo show open like a couple weeks ago. I guarantee you, there's a couple artists that show come up to him like, I'd love to have a show someday. And the difference between that artist and someone like Joe, just fucking did it. Like,
Yeah.
you just saw his video. There's like 1,000 paintings.
Yeah, you do.
Over the course of he just
Exactly.
fucking does it.
Exactly.
And if I can return the little push there, he was one of the first. Matt was one of the first artists that I met when I moved to LA.
Yeah.
And aside from his work just being brilliant, the thing that I think I respect even more is his work ethic. And I think that's what kind of connected us off the bat was just
Very
this
cool.
guy's a madman when it comes to the amount of work he puts in. And so I think those are the people that I kind of naturally just.
It's like you say, it's the hard work. The amount of people, like when I'm working in the gallery, the amount of people that come up to you and just say, "Hey, how do we do a show?" Or
Yeah,
"What do we do?" And it's
don't.
like, and
You
it's
gotta do it yourself. Then I'll talk to you.
and with no kind of proposal or anything about the work, and you're like, "Yeah, drop me an email." But a lot of people just expect it to fall in the lap.
Yeah, exactly.
And then as you progress, the kind of return from that is people recognize your work and approach
Exactly.
you.
It's hard work.
So
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
a
of
lot
course.
of people. You're kind of. Work on the street is you do it because you love it. Everyone wants to paint all the time, but also it's an unintentional advertisement for you,
Yeah.
So people are seeing it on the side of a cafe in Hong Kong or whatever. Oh shit, who did that work? Oh, I want to get a piece of his.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to some of those images. I have some of just art and some of it from your sketchbook. This is a self-portrait, which I love.
Thank you. Yeah, I always find
and
kind
the
of
Obama
self-portraits
one's next,
cheesy,
which is
but
kind
yeah.
of I love it. And this Obama one because it moved you. This was the Charleston shootings, huh?
Yeah. This was a few years back. Just after the shootings.
Just the pain, the pain you saw in his face.
Yeah, it was his first press conference I believe he made right after the shootings, and it just hit me. I mean, it was the first time where it kind of that politician veil was just kind of lifted, and you could just see him as a human being.
Now, these are just some. This is just from your sketchbook.
Yeah,
that's what I was getting at
stalked,
before.
But this is all the weird shit that goes on in this man's head.
Yeah, an artist's sketchbook is Bible. Like, there's some fucked up things in people's
cool.
black
It's
books when
like
you look
the
through
real
them,
deal
just
here.
from
I
like.
really say it's like 80% just penis.
Yeah.
Okay, and then let's go to the merch. We can go right into the merch. You have some. Oh, those jackets are insane. Okay, but this T-shirt.
A lot of artists are doing merch. I mean, you'll say you're trying to move out a bit, but it's a
These jackets
quicker
are
form of
insane.
income,
Did you
isn't
see
it?
these, Danny?
It's gotten easier
Yeah.
recently
Yeah.
just because of like dye sublimation, where
Yeah.
back in the day you had to go order 30 shirts and hope
Yeah.
to God they
Yeah,
sell.
no, that's
like
true.
now you can make them as people buy them.
Yeah, I mean, I these aren't really even merch. These are all just kind of like one of ones.
Well,
that I
these are
do.
one of ones. These are art pieces.
Yeah.
But
Mhm. I mean, your T-shirts
Oh,
you were
these are
saying earlier,
so
your man on the street will buy it
badass.
walking past because that'll be like $30. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
It's more affordable in the same way prints are
They-
over
they want-
originals.
they want something a year, so
Yeah,
they can't afford a
exactly,
piece.
exactly.
no, wearable art. That's a cool thing. Not just T-shirts, but like this is the bomb. This is wearable art.
It's,
I've painted on canvas before. I mean, canvas. Denim canvas. You're wearing these shoes.
Yeah.
I think growing up, it's like the cool thing is, it's like when you're a kid, it's like you want to own that one thing that nobody else has.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
so,
Okay, so these are bucket feet. You guys both did stuff for them, right? With them.
Did you do something for Bucket Feet?
Didn't you
No,
do
I don't.
stuff with?
I've
Oh,
never
you didn't
done.
with Bucket
We're just
Feet?
pals.
Oh. We're just pals.
Yeah, we're just friends.
Yeah. Shout out to Bucket Feet. They're good people.
Yeah, Aaron.
Yeah,
You know,
Aaron's a
he's-
really good guy.
Yeah, he's cool.
Okay, and this is the album. You guys both had album art. Did we go to Matt's album art too?
You don't have to. It's fine. It exists. Go look for it if you want to see
It
it.
exists. Okay, maybe it's time to go on break. Oh, there's your album art. It's cool.
Oh, dope.
He's
I can
blown
see
apart.
that.
He lost his nose.
He's tight.
Okay, let's go on break. We'll be right back. Don't go away. Okay, welcome back. Okay, we're going to talk about Secret Walls. Tell us about Secret Walls, Danny. What's coming up? What's going on? What's it about?
It started 15 years ago in London by Terry.
But it was just here. Who had the first show? Was it Matt that had the first show here in LA?
No, it came back after a while away. So it started in London. It's global. So when was the last one you did?
The last one,
yeah,
for me personally,
yeah.
was at Art Basel in
Yeah,
Miami, December.
okay. So it's global. So you should check out the Secret Walls Instagram page at Secret Walls. Shouts to Terry and Frank in Los Angeles, who were at start, and Captain Chris over in London. There's one in every major city.
I know Captain Chris.
Follow the Instagram account.
Here's the rules.
And their tickets are available. It's promoted on the Instagram as and when it's coming up, so you can get tickets and come to the battles. It's a fucking awesome time. 90-minute battle between 2 to 4 or whatever artists. Huge walls. The crowd choose the winner. Beers, music, general good times, and it's also a great urban art connection to the community. It's actually how I met Matt. We were talking earlier. It's a huge family of people across the world, and it's a great community to get involved in. So check it out.
There's one tomorrow.
Yeah, shit, that was the whole point of it.
Oh yeah, there's one tomorrow.
Okay, so talk about it.
In Los Angeles, there's one tomorrow. It's
Echoplex.
I think it might be sold out, which is just how good it is. So you need to get in and get your tickets fast. But yeah, tomorrow is you, Frank.
Yeah, Frank Zill and I versus
Lily
Lily. And oh my God, I believe her name's Julian. I just met her.
Yeah, so it's a good time, man. Everyone's.
And if you miss it, you're gonna miss it.
Yep.
So everything works. What's that?
Okay,
FOMO?
and some comes up
Fear of
at Cave.
So yeah, so we've got your part of the group show coming up at Cave Gallery. So I work quite closely with them across a number of things. Shouts to Patrick and everyone there, legends, and helped me so much fucking time to get over here. And Patience, great guy, great gallery. It's actually just moved next to the Louvre Gallery
in Venice.
On Venice, opposite James Beach from Abbot Kinney. So numerous reasons for that. But the new gallery, I was there yesterday. It looks awesome, a lot bigger. The kind of space is better than before. So point being, the next group show, you're part of that, Joey, being curated by LC.
Opening
General Los
Saturday.
Angeles legend, and that starts on what date?
February 18th, Saturday.
February 18th. So always loads going on at Cave. Join the mailing list, and you'll get all the invites to the opening nights as DJs and drink, and you get to meet the artists, as we were just saying.
Okay, so check that out. Mark it on your calendars. You got to meet these guys. And yeah, Secret Walls, if you get a chance to be involved in that.
Yeah, and you'll
So where do they go to find out info on Secret Walls?
Yeah, just hit up the Secret Walls Instagram page or website. Everything's on there.
And these guys?
Yeah.
Where can we find these guys?
Yeah, so what your Instagram handles are?
At Joe Yun Lee,
Matt?
josephleeart.com.
Gondek, Gondek. So my website's mattgondek.com. My Instagram is Gondek Draws.
And mine's Linda Graffiti, shameless plug.
Okay, so anybody who's been on the show is going to be on the show. Go to wetpuzzlepiece.com. All the archives of the show. This show will be on tonight if you miss it, or if you want to see it again and again and again and again, it'll be on tonight, or at the latest tomorrow morning. Next week, who do we have? We have some more rockers next week. And they're crazy rockers that break all the rules, so don't go away.
Moving with the times and technology, we stepped up the game now. You've got a podcast on iTunes.
Oh, yeah, we're on iTunes.
The dope thing about iTunes is it's free to download the podcasts, and you can download them while you're online and listen to them offline. So you can catch all the previous shows. You can sign up. You'll get notifications.
So if you're flying to or from London on the plane for 12, 15 hours, then you have something to do.
I can't watch them or listen to them back because I hate my own voice, but which is ironic considering how much I like talking. So yeah.
Go figure. Okay, we're gonna say goodbye now. See you next week.
We're back on the 20th for the Urban Art one.
That's right.
Yeah. So check
it.